How is it going, everybody? Welcome back to World of Tanks and welcome back to yet another From the Past episode. And you already know what that means. I had to activate my time machine and I had to go back in time. This time I went back to the patch 9.10. This battle, what you are watching on the background at the moment, was played in 2015 on September 5th. If I'm not mistaken. Yes, 11:45 AM as well. So now you know everything about this battle. But today I have one super special guest. Golden Boy, old Golden Boy, as I like to call it. Tier 10 American heavy tank T110E5. And I wanted to show you this vehicle in its prime time, in its glory time, because back in the days, in patch 9.10, a lot of people liked to call T110E5 the most overpowered tank in this game. When we didn't have all those new overly armored medium tanks, heavy tanks, tank destroyers, and so on. As you can see from the matchmaking as well, we have that old matchmaker. On the enemy side, they have actually one extra tier 10 vehicle, but we had a random amount of tier 10s, tier 9s, tier 8s. In this battle, we can see 2 tier 8 light tanks, some tier 9 tanks like IS-8 that was renamed to D10. What else interesting? Oh yes, Waffenträger of E100 as well on the enemy side, who already has one kill. And before making today's episode, I looked at many different T110E5's battles from the past, from older patches like 9.8, 9.7 even. And this battle is not the highest damage done battle ever with T110E5, but in my opinion, it was the best battle to show why so many people said that this tank feels overpowered or that this tank is overpowered, especially the ending. How frustrating it was to penetrate E5, especially when you didn't see that bloody lower plate. For tier 9s, for a lot of tier 10s, that was the only thing that they were able to penetrate. So enjoy the battle. By the way, this battle was played by Albus Dumbledore, or should I say Professor Albus Dumbledore. Triple X Professor, yeah. So thank you for sharing this battle with us a long time ago. So T110E5, yes, as I said, many players back in the days liked to call this tank the most overpowered, the strongest tank in this game, and yes, back in the days it kinda was. We didn't have those buffed mouse tanks, we didn't have Type 5s, we didn't have version 4s, we didn't have tier 10 lights. What else we didn't have? We didn't have many different things. So T110E5, thanks to its crazy armor, crazy frontal armor, especially when it was hull down, was almost impenetrable for regular rounds. And this is what you can see from today's battle as well. And I remember when I first got my T110E5, I simply couldn't stop playing with it, because it was that good. I was getting really awesome battles, battle after battle, like many Top Guns in a row even, and it was dominating the battlefield, completely dominating the battlefield. But which patch was it now? Quickly, I did some research. 9.17.1. In patch 9.17.1, Wargaming decided to nerf T110E5's Commander Hatch. They didn't say how much, patch notes simply say reduced armor thickness of the Commander's cupola and reduced thickness of the side armor in the area behind the front drive wheels from 254mm to 76.2mm. Pretty crazy nerf, don't you think so? But the main thing is they reduced the armor thickness of the Commander's cupola, so Commander Hatch. They didn't nerf it to the ground. They didn't nerf it from 260 to 270 that it had before, down to 200-ish. They nerfed it down to 230-ish armor. It is not super bad, but it is just enough for every single tier 10 to easily penetrate it, and for almost every single tier 9 as well. And in tier 10 battles, if you have such a huge weak spot, because this Commander Hatch was not the smallest Commander Hatch in this world, as you can see, T110E5 had nothing to do. Like, if you go hull down, you reveal the biggest weak spot ever. And if you are not hull down, people have options to either shoot your lower plate or to shoot your commander hatch, and this is why T110E5 lost all its popularity, pretty much. Nerfing that one little thing, or actually that huge thing on the top of the turret, killed this tank. And hello M48 Baton, by the way, in front of us at the moment, whose commander hatch over here is also super garbage, but M48 Baton received commander hatch buff in 18 plus in 9.19, maybe somewhere over there. And he's one of the best tier 10 medium tanks at the moment. I would actually say they traded places with M48 Baton, who is a hull down beast now. We are never going to see penetration that we saw at the moment without any premium rounds into the Baton's turret. Get your Baton into hull down position and simply farm, like for example this position. It would be godlike for nowadays Baton, but guys, what do you think about T110E5 now? Do you still play with it occasionally? How do you feel about this tank? For me personally, I still play with it every once in a while. It is not the worst tier 10 heavy tank, I can say. Still, gun handling is there, like TPM is there, mobility is there. It is average or a little bit under average if I compare it to some super heavy tanks like Type 5, like Mouse, nowadays Type 5 and nowadays Mouse. Even IS-7 has seen some buffs, and if I compare this tank to the Super Conqueror, for example, that also has 400 alpha damage gun, then, well, yeah, it makes me actually laugh a little bit. T110E5 compared to the Super Conqueror, well, superior version of E5. Simple way to put it. Or maybe I can even say that old E5 was like nowadays Super Conqueror in a game where we didn't have anything to fight against it, besides tier 10 tank destroyers or old artillery with crazy damage. For example, JPZ E100 was really effective taking E5s out, but this E100 on the enemy side, well, this guy is going to crack me up a little bit. Despite Albus making couple mistakes here and there, well, JPZ E100 is going to make couple mistakes as well, but all in all, that fight is going to crack me up, and most likely is going to crack you up as well. So now I believe I have said everything I wanted to say about this tank, about E5. Simply let me know if you still play with it and what do you think about old, or what do you think about nowadays E5. And here comes yet another bounce. So JPZ 100 just took the fire or just pulled the trigger, and he's not going to back up actually. On the move, Albus takes the shot, misses. I would actually aim at the tracks automatically, or I would stop and aim at the tracks just to waste a repair kit, like you are going to do now. Repair kit wasted, and now JPZ E100 decided to load in HE round. He took the shot. So now Albus has enough time, let's say roughly 20 seconds to put yet another shot into the tracks and to get behind that JPZ E100. And this really cracks me up. E100 is saying, okay, let's play a little game, I'm running away, you cannot touch this, you cannot get this, juicy ass. Meanwhile, Professor Dumbledore is simply chasing him, dealing damage, shooting shot after shot into the pooper, and the JPZ 100 is taking it because he knows he's completely effed anyway. And what he's doing now at the moment, and what Albus is doing wrong, is he's not tracking that JPZ 100. JPZ 100% quite clearly is trying to get one more shot off into the T95, and he was able to do that. Albus should have tracked the T100 at least once, but anyway, down it goes, and down goes our T95 as well. IS-8 was able to kill him, SDI with HE ammunition, boom, yet another kill, and now you see that E5's armor in action when you cannot see that bloody lower plate. IS-8 is using a tier 10 gun over here. IS-8 is using exactly the same gun as IS-4 gets, but if you were not able to see T110E5's lower plate, you were not able to penetrate commander hatch, especially under angle like this, without using any premium rounds. So if IS-8 doesn't have any premium rounds, he can simply dream about penetrating E5. As simple as it is. So IS-8 is doing what he has to do. He has to be a little bit more aggressive. He has to get that commander hatch under a little bit better angle, and he was actually able to penetrate E5. But I believe he wasn't aiming at the commander hatch. He was able to penetrate something else. Well, anyway, it was weird. Now, under angle like this, boom, yet another bounce off from the commander hatch. One more shot needed into the IS-8. Let's see who is faster, and Albus Dumbledore was faster and was able to survive this fight with 41 HP. Quite an exciting ending, I have to say. And by the way, he was playing this battle without a premium account, and he was able to complete his heavy tank 15 for objective 60, I believe. Anyway, one beautiful ace tanker, a Spartan metal, cool-headed, high caliber and steel wall. No top guns or pools medals or anything like that, but he did a lot of work. Because 9,042 damage done, 5 kills and 1,518 raw experience. On the enemy side, STI 6,524 damage done, T10 old IS-8 4,234 damage done. So this battle was really tough, and Albus Dumbledore was the only vehicle alive. And by the way guys, as I said, a lot of damage bounced, damage blocked by armor, 14,000. So he blocked 14,000, he did 9,000 damage and 1,788 damage to his assistants. Over 11,000 combined damage plus that blocking damage. Yeah, what more do you want from one battle? Old T110E5 was able to do all that and even more. One battle that I watched, that I looked at with premium rounds exclusively, full heat loadout, was 13,000 damage battle, for example. But this one, it shows why this vehicle was called Overpowered by a lot of players. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, this was my today's From the Past episode with almost 3 years old replay. If you have any more ideas, what you would like to see, maybe some highest damage done ever battles with different tanks, with one specific tank that you would like to see in action, or maybe some old but gold tank action, let me know in the comments if you have any ideas. I am going to read every single comment as always. Much love, stay awesome, take care, and bye.